Hello, I'm Martin. Welcome back to Bugle Backreps. And this week is What's On, Why You Should Play in the ITC. This week on What's On, we have Dom here from Realspace Radios and Let's Talk Wargaming.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, Dom. You?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
Yes, first time on Bugle Backreps.
First time. I've been watching a lot of your battle reports because obviously I met you at LGT, and I've been a big fan of like the way you've like come in like since the start of your battle reports, and obviously I know George and Paddy because of Realspace Raiders, and yeah, it's good stuff.
Big up. So for people who might not know you, do I just give us a little description of yourself and what you do? Because you're quite popular in the UK tournament scene, I'd say.
Yeah, well, my name's Dom, also known on Instagram and from the Realspace Raiders podcast is Dark Techno Dom, where I talk about as a group we talk about all things Drukhari, going from hobby to competitive play to painting tips, how to prep for tournaments, and just everything you need for if you're a Drukhari player and Eldari, because we've had a lot of Eldari people reach out to us. And we give them tips how to soup if they want to soup. And then I've also started a new YouTube channel and Spotify, and it's just gone on iTunes as well. It's a new channel called Let's Talk Wargaming, and it's an interview platform where I basically interview people who make content in the 40k universe for us, and I literally sit them down and chat to them about themselves, about 40k. General questions about all competitive play and their thoughts and everything. We just had our first episode with Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics, and it went down really well. We've got over 1,000 views in the first day, which was pretty good. I say we, it's just me. It's just me on my own. And yeah, I do okay in the ITC. I do a lot of tournaments. I went to about 9 events last year. Went to two majors and went undefeated at both, and then went 4-1 at LGT, and then I've won a few RTTs along the way. Yeah, I do all right. I just played Drukhari at the moment, but I think I'm gonna dabble in some souping in this year, and maybe when Chaos eventually come out, I hope they do this year, I'll go back to my Chaos boys, because that is what I'll collect really, because I've got like 10,000 points of Chaos just sitting there. I've got an entire Night Lords army. I've got an entire Emperor's Children army, and then I've got about 3,000, 4,000 points of Demons, because at my local club we play a lot of Apocalypse games, and I've just been collecting Chaos for years. But yeah, that's me. I'm Dom. Hi.
Very nice. Does that upset you that Tal Jones got 2 rooms in Chaos 7 for one?
Don't. Yes. Oh god, it's been so long. I bet you anything there's going to be another Space Room book before there's going to be another Chaos book. But when they come out, I hope they just pour a bit of sauce on that book, because it needs to be unbelievably broken. We need like a Drukhari style book where everything is good, and hopefully everything will be good. And it's nice to be getting we're included in the Eldari box. That's kind of nice. Yeah. I'm probably as well. Sorry, what did you say?
About 15 models in our box set.
It's not much, is it? They've got the big Forge Fiend, which is awesome. Which I'll probably use as a Forge Fiend and Mauler Fiend, because I've got 2 sitting up just there, which you can't see. They're ready to be made. Because as soon as the Thousand Sun book came out, they changed their stats. Their damage went up, and also they can hit better. They don't hit fours anymore, which is great. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, that is definitely happening in the new codex. So, well, predicting it would. So I was trying to get ahead, like a couple of years ahead with buying models. And I hope it will, because I just love the Forge Fiends. They just look amazing, like a mouth as a gun, and then your two guns like here.
So basically, so this week's video of what's on is going to be what is the ITC and why you should take part in it. So, what is the ITC, Dom?
Well, that is the independent tournament circuit, which is like managed by Frontline Gaming, who are an American company. And for a long time, it's kind of been the tournament scene like globally. And it's only recently, since 9th edition, that Games Workshop's really trying to get involved in tournament play. So really, it's just like Frontline Gaming have just had a love for the hobby. They just wanted to make it like they used to create rules packs when Games Workshop didn't have a tournament rules pack. So they've been around for a while, and they do it starts and ends with a huge event at LVO, which has just happened last week. I'd love to go one day.
That is the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously ITC, when you say that to some people might be a bit like not sure about it. They think, oh, that's not for me. I don't really want to get involved in that competitive side of it. But I think what a lot of people at their hobby clubs on Friday nights and maybe going to local events that aren't ITC rated, they're still playing in the same way as people who are going to these ITC events. So like myself personally, started doing it with the whole gang last year.
Yeah,
I think it's a great thing to see yourself on the placings and compare yourself to other people, and you see like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am, or and just seeing yourself in the wider picture of the community.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like it gets quite addictive, because when I came out of lockdown, because we're in the UK, like I live just above London, and it's like COVID was everywhere here. Like it wasn't like where you're from all the way down south, but up like around London, it was just a hive of COVID. So we had a really late one. So we actually didn't start going to events till like midsummer. And we were desperately trying to go to as many as we could in prep for LGT, which was I think it was September, October. And we started going to events. We started placing well. Like my first tournament, I came second at to Mike Costello, who's now at Vanguard Tactics, where I played George. Hey George. And then the next two, I kind of travelled around the country, and I won 2 little RTTs in a row, and then I won a third to make it like a hat trick, and then went to LGT. But after all of these things were like creeping up, and you're getting points here and points here, you slowly climb the ladder, and your name slowly gets higher and higher the more points you get. So basically how it works is you go to so many events. So if it's for your faction, I think it's your top 4 events of the year. So if you go to 10 events, your top 4 scoring match up to what you get. And then for your you also get included your factions that you play, your team you play for, and then your global, and then UK, or if you're wherever you're from, like present. So there's lots of different ways, and I became good friends with a couple of people because we were like chasing after each other the whole year. And like Ben Jones from Vanguard Tactics, me and him were literally neck and neck the whole way. And because he's just gone to LVO, I was first last time I checked, but they've just closed the ITC for the year because of they just had an LVO, so they've locked all the scores. So I don't know, but I could imagine he's just pipped above me now. So it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Like it's great. It's really addictive to kind of like watch
like scoring as well. You can have so many like RTT events, so many majors, and so many supers as well, can't you?
Yeah, so usually it's capped, so you can only have like I think it's 3 RTTs or 4 or 2 RTTs in your like main score. Don't quote me on this, but then now they've uncapped it. So this year you can max your scores going to events. Like if you go to 10 RTTs, you and one major. If your RTT is better score than your major, then you won't get capped at how many you get. So it's really good. They kind of changed it a little bit, and they've just teamed up with Games Workshop, haven't they?
Yeah, the recent announcement. Games Workshop going to be supporting ITC more now. So that's a good thing as well. Obviously, before there was that division of like the Warhammer World events, I think.
Yeah.
And the ITC season. Just good. It's going to be all combined now.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I don't like it because Games Workshop are getting really controlling on everything, and they're like a big thing at the moment is the chapter approved. There's nothing in that book. It shouldn't be 2 books. It should be 1 book to start. It should be ring bound like the last one, and also it should be a free update on the app rather than having to pay every half a year like 20-30 quid, which you don't really get much for because we've got apps which automatically do the points. I honestly think if you have the Games Workshop app, then you should get all of the stuff for free. Yeah. Because then it incentivizes other people being like, I don't really want to pay for the book, I'll just get the app.
Yeah. I think the whole community's on that side of it now, that they need to be digital. The books are like outdated by the time they get printed. And it's just money.
Oh, it is. And that's
don't get me started on the Warzone books that come out.
I know. Literally, in the Dracaria one, we got like a few pages, and that was it. But those few pages are the most broken thing in our codex. But it's not in the codex. It's you have to go to the table with 2 books, and it frustrates me.
I feel for like people who are new trying to get into a hobby now, if they go and just pick up a codex out of a Games Workshop shop, half of it's going to be wrong. They're not going to have a clue what they're doing.
No, I know. And like it's like if like at the moment, being a Chaos fan, if I wanted to play Chaos, I'd need 5 books. I'd need my Chaos Demons book. I'd need my supplement book for the Chaos Demons. I'd need the Chaos Space Marine Codex, their supplement. Oh, it's just such a mess.
All the FAQs.
All the FAQs, have it all printed, and yeah, it's a lot. So I understand why people kind of jump to the most recent armies, which is, a bit, it's okay, but like you should be rewarded, not punished, for having like being loyal to an army. I would just like to say one thing, Martin. We didn't talk about the UKTC as well. Yeah. So that's Zach's events, who does warhammertournaments.com, and he does, for all of you in the UK, he does like a major at a different city every single month, and he does big major events, and he does he's got his own UKTC circuit. So like ITC, we have all your points. You can also do UKTC, so it's just for the UK, which is really cool.
Yeah. So obviously, ITC scene up where you are in London, it's a lot more accessible, I think, to get to events.
Yeah.
There's bigger events being held up there and stuff like this. For us down here in Cornwall, the ITC scene is
dead.
There is nothing hardly. So like myself recently teamed up with Mad for Miniatures, and now I'm running the local RTT ITC events.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Now we actually have events down here every couple of months that we can start getting players getting ITC on the scoring system.
Yeah, you can farm those points down south, which is awesome.
Because down here, most of the majority of people who come to our tournaments, they don't know what BCP is, they don't know what ITC is. So it's just trying to get as many more people involved in it as possible. I think it will just help them improve their game and actually encourage people more.
Yeah, I think it's great that you're doing that, because in areas like, if you don't know about the tournament scene, I'm lucky because the people at my local gaming club go to a lot of tournaments, and I've always known about it being in London, because there's like Bad Moon Cafe, which is run by Boris Mitchev, which he's like one of the best Dracaria players for the last couple of years, and it's his cafe where you can go play board games, but he also runs ITC tournaments there. So that's how I kind of knew about it. But it's a lot more accessible for me, because I can just go to like Waterloo or any of the big train stations in London, or go out to Watford and then get a straight line to Leicester, Nottingham, wherever I want. So it's really good for me. But I totally.
Before we started doing them, our closest one was a 2.5-hour drive.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like halfway up the country for me, which would. Yeah.
But yes, myself and like all the Bugle back reps guys, who are mostly all ones who go to ITC tournaments as well.
Yeah.
So now we try and push as many people to get involved in it down here as possible.
Yeah.
There is another one I'll shout out now as well, at Red Roof. Just G Minis is co-hosting it on Instagram. They're doing ITC events starting this month as well down at Red Roof, which is about an hour's drive for us as well. But it's a bit more closer. It's good that we're getting more RTT events in Cornwall, at least, to get more people just getting those points. But as soon as they see themselves on those placings, I guarantee they'll be more invested.
Yeah, it's so addictive as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good that you're getting more down there because it gets more people involved because they'll come to one, and then someone will bring a mate, and then more people will go, and then from out of nowhere you'll have this really good tournament scene, and there'll be more and more coming. You never know, I might come down to one and test the waters down there.
George versus Dom final, eh?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then as well, obviously here at Bugle Back Reds, I've got 2 studios or rooms, whatever you'll call it. So I'm trying to get as many people come up like in the evenings and stuff like this, and just encourage them how to play like a bit more competitive.
Yeah.
What they can do to improve. Like literally every night I'm like, if you want can't play, there's tables here. I can help you, get you going.
Yeah, you're like a.
That is my main mission this year.
It's great.
Because yeah, obviously me and most of the guys, we all started playing when we was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Stopped and then coming back like most people did when you're old and got nothing else to do. But like when I started like 2 or 3 years ago playing match formation, like George and Paddy on Friday nights, I would never thought like in like 2 years time I'll be going LGT and playing like 600 people.
Yeah.
And that was literally one of my best times playing Warhammer. I loved it.
Oh, it was so fun.
It's so good being in that environment with so many people with the same mindset as you.
Yeah, well, I actually loved camping with George and Paddy. That was so fun. Like it was good facilities down there. Like all the restaurants nearby are like a taxi away. So what we did was just in the campsite with beers and a pizza. It was great. It was really good. Yeah.
So this past year in ITC, obviously we've had a lot of different armies coming top and dominating the meta, as you would call it.
Yeah.
I think the main one early in the year was AdMech. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, so for us in the UK, coming out of lockdown was the summer. Our summer from like June-ish time. That's when it was kind of like lockdown restrictions were kind of going. So people, annoyingly, in America had played like all year, and they were like they already nerfed Drukhari before we could play with Drukhari, and it was so frustrating because my nickname on Instagram and the podcast is Dark Technomancer Dom or Dark Techno Dom, and that's all I used to play in 8th. And then I was like so ready for all of these liquefier acts to come out and just be completely broken. I was so ready, I had everything ready, and then they nerfed it because America had just got way too keen and won like 7 major events in a row. So annoying. But yeah, so this summer it was like a summer meta where like the old books being Death Guard, it was Death Guard, Necrons, and Space Marines. I think there was one more that came out that was a bit irrelevant. And they all just could not compete with Drukhari and AdMech. Yeah. They just simply had no answers for it. Custodies were doing okay because they're very resilient. But in the summer, it was really just the Drukhari Raider Rush. AdMech, which was if you went first, you automatically won the game, which was madness. And then
obviously, down here, we didn't have any of that. So when I went to LGT, I did the Friday night RTTs.
Yeah.
Game 2, AdMech.
God.
Not fun.
It was oppressive. That Lucius was just disgusting. And like what they should have done is as soon as Lucius started winning all these major events with AdMech, they should have done the nerf that's just happened now, which is you can't soup. unless you're Drakari. And yeah, like you should, like, because then you would have stopped the Mars and Lucius kind of mix, and it wouldn't have been so devastating. But yeah, Orcs had, that was the start of the buggies, where Manny Chima, he ran all the buggies to the London event, and everyone was like, what is this? This car park of units. And then Grey Knights started to come out. That was just when the Grey Knights happened, and everyone was like, oh, Thousand Sons are so much better than Grey Knights. And then Grey Knights happened, and then everyone was like, oh, so if you only play Interceptors and only play the big baby suits,
Red Knights.
You Dread Knights, you're just top level. It's so easy.
Yeah.
So easy. Yeah, that was kind of the summer meta.
I think like the Orc and Admech list both obviously benefited from having loads of flyers, which also been nerfed now.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, because they used to have 3 flyers, both of them. Like the Orcs used to the WAS bombers, which used to come in and just kill everything. I played a guy who rolled
Bombers there.
He rolled 12 shots per WAS bomb on turn 1, and I was like, what? And he killed 2 units of Talos. I was like, are you kidding me? What is this? But yeah, no. So that was the Orcs, and then you had the Grey Knights. But what was the winter meta?
Still fucking Chikara yet. As all fucking
Yeah, it's kind of been feeling like that. Like it's the thing is, it's because our book is so diverse. And we don't have many units, right? This is what people don't realize. We don't have many units to choose from. It's like 3 fast attack, 3 heavy support, 3 troops, loads of like 3 main special characters, and you get an Archon, Succubus, and then your Homunculus. That's it. Like we haven't got much. Like there's Rangers a lot, but then each category only has like a couple of units. So I think Games Workshop were really delicate at the start with the nerfs, because they didn't want to ruin the book completely because there wasn't much to choose from. But then what they did really, really funnily, they nerfed Admech into the ground. I say that, but then they've just won LVO. Orcs, they messed them up as well. Then they nerfed all the stuff that was good for Chikari, like the Raider Rush made Raiders more expensive a second time, and they made Witches and Trueborn and all of that sort of really expensive. All the characters go up because we had 60-point Succubuses, which was just bonkers.
Don't start me on that fucking Succubus.
Oh, I know. It was mad. I do miss it though. And then what happened is they made all the Coven cheaper.
Yeah.
So everyone just went, oh, I guess I'll just run Coven then. And then like Manny Chima with all his Coven, and then you had Anthony Vanella, who was in America doing a lot of Thick City. But then it was just loads of grotesques, loads of Talos, and like
it's also worth noting, like on the Coven stuff, our good friend George was ahead of the meta LGT, was he?
Yeah, I used to love that because he hates running lists which everyone else is running. So everyone was like winning events, and I like me and Paulie were really pushing like Raider Rush and like caught the Archon on that. It's just like, nope, I'm gonna run Venoms and I'm gonna run Talos. And we were like, all right then. And then he did like way better than all of us, and we were like, oh, okay, so Talos are really good.
Yeah.
Okay, like we thought they were good, but we didn't know how resilient they were. And then they worked really well with MSU, so like really big shout out to him. But another Archon who was way ahead of the trend was Lord Zoros on Instagram.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Darren Tang, he ran Thick City at LGT, like all the Chronos, all the Talos, all that sort of stuff. I don't even know how well he did, but he was way ahead of the curve.
While we're on Thick City, so we have a discussion about that.
Go ahead.
Actually, Manny's broken, however many fucking racks it is.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, right? Because that is, if you can afford to spend £700 on racks, then that list is so ridiculously like good. But no one else in their right mind, unless they got a 3D printer, or they go to Age of Sigmar and take all of the Crypt Schools, the little ones, because you get 30 in a pack. If you get them, then no one's going to run it. So what he's just done is just because he's got a shop. He's just got them in at cost, and then he's because it's a business expense, because he's a tournament player and this is his livelihood. So I 100% get it. I'm fully behind it. But no one else, I don't think that is ever going to run that list, because it's way too expensive to actually buy.
He'll get fucking nerfed into the ground now.
I don't know what nerf they could do, because I actually think he ran the less powerful version of that list.
Yeah.
More powerful version was to give the entire army transhuman.
Racks away, fucking dirty.
Yeah, I know. So I think it's great. I just don't know how long it's going to last, because if you come up against the Devourer Gaunts, it almost gets rid of all of the racks in a couple of turns.
First, and then obviously most recently we've had the Stampede.
Crusher Stampede. That's your mate Paddy. That's his flavour, isn't it?
Obviously, yeah, fucking Howden. Was fucking.
So what's good about it? So I haven't actually played it, but I've seen so many people running it at events, and I've dodged it so many times. But like, what is it?
The Howden, or it's just Stampede.
Both. I think people need to hear about this.
The version like Paddy runs out of me, it's got the Howden, a Stormlord, 2 High Tyrants, Demon Carrion, and there's like the Stample 3 Tyrant Warriors for the battalion. And the trouble is, it hits you that so much hard in turn 1 and turn 1 and turn 2, like most armies do now. And you just can't come back from it, basically.
Yeah, because they can get, is it Swarmlord who does the double move to get the first turn?
Yeah, the double move is process.
Dimikero can jump over buildings, and it's all got a 5-up invuln, and it all
do damage for 1.
Yeah, that was the problem with Nids. It was like they didn't have invulns, so you just shot them with Dark Lancers, and they died. Like I played Nids in Brighton, game 1 against a really nice opponent, and he had literally a Crusher Stampede list, because he's just like big Nids, and he goes, I love Pacific Rim, so he's just got loads of the big bugs, and he literally I was like, Dark Lance this, Dark Lance that, Dark Lance this, Dark Lance that, and I was just picking off the big stuff, because it didn't have an invuln. But now it's got an invuln, and now it's got -1 damage. Oh god, it's tough. I was actually very surprised that it didn't win the event, the LVO event. Really surprised.
I think, like, obviously as well with the Stampede, they count as many models, how many runes they've got as well. So you're getting like 10, 12 runes on objectives most of the time.
Yeah.
So unless you have a lot of obsec, you're going to struggle.
Oh, completely. And do they have a stratagem to make it obsec?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yes. I feel like they would, because like a Morlock coming up within 3 inches on your objective and then being like, I'm obsec, it's pretty terrifying.
Yeah. So obviously that's an army of the renown, as well as like the Orc one, have one now. Yep. What are your thoughts on like army of renowns currently? Do you think they should be allowed? There's a bit of an argument going around on it now.
I think rules should always be allowed to be played, but I think there needs to be more of a handcuff. Maybe it costs more CP to take an army around. Maybe if you're taking the army of renown and it has that keyword, then it costs you 2 or 3 CP, because Drukhari have that with Strife. Like we have to take if we're taking a Realspace raid, we need to take a patrol of Strife so we can gain access to some of the stuff. But I almost feel that if they had less CP than the rest of all of the armies, it would balance out how powerful they all are. Because it's literally, your army's amazing when the book comes out, then you get your supplement, and then it becomes completely overpowered. So I think there should be a handcuff. Maybe you half your CP, or it costs 5 CP to have an army of renown plus your detachment, and you don't get the refund back from your warlord. I think that would help, because then that would nerf a lot of these armies, including Drukhari.
Yeah. So obviously we've now come to the end of 2021 ITC season.
Yep.
We don't know where people are placed yet, but I think you're in top 10 at least, aren't you, in the UK? If not very much closer to the top. For UK ITC, I'm 5th, and so it's Malik, then Manny, then Michael Costello,
then Mike Porter, then me. I was third for a couple of months, and I was like, what is happening? Why am I third? Like, what is this? But yeah, UK ITC is great. Yeah.
So also rough known, obviously, for ITC season, we have the team placings as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Realspace Raiders, you're down as with the other Archons. I
Yep.
believe you're up in the top 5.
Yeah, we did all right. You know, we had a lot of good players play for us, and obviously Jakari are very good this year, so we got a lot of good team results. And just for a podcast, we were top 10, which was pretty good. And I hope next year, like we can do that again. But I think all the other armies are going to catch up with Jakari, and I'm probably going to soup with Harlequins because I've just started to build some Harlequins. Just because I like Harlequins.
Yeah, nice. Obviously for like team Bugle backreps this season, I've been there stealing people from our pubs now. I have like
yes,
people we get
you're playing for us. Oh, that's great. We could get a rivalry for next year and try and see who can get the highest.
Well, I did give George a Bugle backreps t-shirt with Realspace on the back for Christmas.
Ah, that's cool.
George, you want to come across?
Yeah, there's literally no reason why for like events like you could just have George, because it's per event. You can just change your team name, and that's what people think. Like, you're not tied down to one team for the entire year. Like, if you can play for Bugle Backreps, play for Realspace Raiders, you can play for whoever you want. Make a team name up.
Oh, I thought you was always tied to one team for the season.
No, you can swap out. You can just, like, when you enter your team name.
Yeah.
When you say, hi, Martin, this is my army list, and my team name is this. You don't have to have that team name, because all it does, it uses the team name as a category where to put your points.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
George, get on Team Bugle next year.
What's on? Yeah.
So obviously now looking into next season, which starts this week, I imagine. We're having our Mad Miniatures tournament this weekend as well. So that's going to be the first tournament of the ITC season.
Nice.
What are your thoughts going into it with like the new missions now?
Oh, so new missions is good. I think it's a good change. It's always good to change it up, and just to, because you get very comfortable in like the secondaries you take and the how to play missions, and after like 4 or 5 events, you then become quite the expert on the tournament, like how it's all done. So it's good to change it up. The one thing I'm not keen on is if your opponent concedes, you just take 60 points and then you're kind of knocked out of the tournament. I really don't like that, and I think I urge like all tournament like organizers to take that out of the rule book for their tournament, because you could have an unfortunate event, like you disagree on rules and there's a salty moment, and then he goes, all right then, I'm just gonna concede, and then you're left like that, or like, yeah, it's just a bit. On
the other flip side of that, say you're at an event and someone's already on a yellow card,
and
playing a game with someone, and the person says after round 2, I'm conceding because I'm not enjoying this. He's doing this. This. What would you feel on that then? Would you still be like, he should still get his points? Or would you then be like, okay, he's on the yellow card and then he's had another incident now. Does he deserve to not get these 100 points?
I still think he deserves to get the 100 points because you conceded. It's up to the TO to manage the players at the tournaments, and it's up to the TO to look after everyone. So if there's a guy who's taking advantage of people and he's doing a bit of this and a bit of that, tell the TO, let them sort it out. I don't think people should be punished, because like say if you were in the running to win the event and all you needed was a win by like 2 or 3 points, and you'd win the whole entire event like LGT. What if someone disliked you and just went, before the game, by the way, I concede, and then you've just lost? I don't think it should be, and I think it can be quite dangerous, because there are players who have reputations for like dodgy representations. I'm not naming anyone, But like, if someone a couple of years ago had a disagreement with them and they're still a bit sour about it, they could just refuse to play them, and then it's kind of a I just think it could be a bit messy. But
definitely agree with it being you have to avoid the TO, and it being there if the TO feels it's appropriate.
Yeah.
But I think it will encourage a bit more sportsmanship, people to have a second thought before they do something that may be a bit controversial to save that trouble, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it definitely makes everyone go, I hope I play the game better so that I come off really nice, so that, you know, people don't try and 60-point me. But yeah, what do you think of the new secondary changes, like teleport homers and rod and all that sort of stuff?
So at this time, I've recorded 2 games, the new missions, and my first thoughts on it are the missions are a lot more admin work to it.
Yes.
A lot more bookkeeping and stuff like this to it. Because obviously you got the primary scorers to take hold. You then got each mission secondary as well. So you basically play with 4 secondaries. But with the secondaries as well, obviously, like, engage has to be 3 models or more, and vehicles or monsters now. I think that won't affect too many people too much. Retrieve data, which now I think is hardly going to be taken. I've seen in the last 2 games I've done, people was ifing and in to take it and decided not to.
Yep.
I've seen people actually taking more of like warp ritual and the psychic ones more.
Oh yeah, because they're a little bit easier to do. Because the change of rod is a bit annoying because say if you deep strike mandrakes.
Yeah.
And in the old edition, you deep strike them in, and then you just go action, and then you do one of your actions, one of your 4 actions that you need to do to get the points. Now, if you did that, you'd have to roll a dice, and if it exceeds the number of models in the unit, the action doesn't go off. But for infantry, it's different. So for infantry and your
it's got to be troop. So
yeah. So like from the troops, so like Racks or Cabalites or Space Marine troops, all that sort of stuff, or Orc boys, you can do it. But you don't have a unit cap, which is nice. I don't know. Is there any troops that are 1 or 2 models? I can't think of any.
No, I don't think. Not that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like a good example of the new secondaries affecting me, because obviously now I'm playing Orcs.
Yeah.
I was doing the whole Storm Boys who don't have it and Commandos.
Oh yeah, because your Commandos would go do a cheeky rod, and then
you got drops in back and 2 Storm Boys drop in. So now if I want to take the new rod, I've literally got to put another Storm Boy in each unit. So have more points.
Yeah.
And bigger drops to get them in. And not fail, basically.
Well, bikes can do teleport homer, can't they?
Yeah.
So teleport homer could be a good one if you wanted to do the Army of Renowned, because then you can just get small squads of bikes which just go zooming forward, do teleport homer in the deployment zone of your enemy, and then you get 4 points straight away.
Yeah. I'm still playing freebooters at the minute, but
freebooters is very good. But they are dangerous.
It's a good example of how it is going to make people change the army list.
Oh, completely.
Like Tyrannids, lictors are now gone, basically.
And the single Urkel for Drakari.
Yeah, Drakari, your fucking ghouls.
Yeah. God.
What else has changed in new secondaries? The
CP. So
yes, that was a good one. So now obviously certain missions you only score your CP in the command phase under certain conditions.
Yeah.
A good one we done Night Lords versus Tyrannids the other day.
Yeah.
And because the Night Lord started his Warlord in Deep Strike, so turn 1 was it on table in command phase. Turn 2 was it on table in command phase. Turn 3 drops down dice. And on that game, you needed to have your Warlord on table in command phase to score you. So you didn't score any CP regen all game.
God, that makes you think, doesn't it? Because a lot of people like for me, I will have my HQ in a transport or like in Deep Strike, and maybe I won't do that just so I can get some CP, because I need CP so I can do my like crazy strategies where I like flings stuff across the board, or if you know, for like Chaos Space Marines, they need like the double shoot strats can get quite expensive, and orcs as well. They've got a lot of expensive strats like Kareen and all of that.
And like obviously some missions you gotta hold your back objectives to have your CP and stuff. So what I've seen so far, if you start going downhill, it's like you're losing your objectives, you lose your warlord, you haven't got these command points to make that comeback with your stratagems.
Yeah.
But that's what your stratagems are there for, to try and counter back, get you back in the game.
Yeah.
You're punishing you. If you're going down, you're fucking going down big.
God. But keep that warlord alive and hold those middle objectives to get CP.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It forces the game to be played more in the middle of the board, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Rather, because a lot of armies can literally go, right, I'm not moving and I'm going to win the game, because they sit at the back objectives. They got 15 on like Stubborn Defiance, then they get banners, they get 15 on, and then another one they get 15 on, and they literally don't have to move to just get an 80 or a 90 score.
Yeah.
And this forces people to actually get to that middle of the board.
Yeah. I think that's another one good one in race. Obviously, you can't now take 2 secondaries out your codex.
Which is good.
So it stops the Marines doing like Oaths and Stubborn Defiance.
Yeah. Oh, that's quite big actually.
Yeah.
There's the AdMech one, which is they used to take that, and a different one where you used to if you don't kill as many vehicles as they kill as troops, then they get 3 points a turn. But then they used to combat that with another one. Then you got Necrons, who do the herd the prey sort of one, and another one. I don't play Necrons. I don't
know. So you're looking into next season. What armies are you expecting to be top in the coming months? I know we got Southern Codex coming out this Saturday, which is going to hurt.
So I don't mind the railgun. Okay, the railgun only kills a grotesque, or it only kills a raider or a witch. But what I do care about is how it can like 1-shot or 2-shot Be'lakor. I think that's harsh. I think maybe they should change the rules a little bit on the big stuff and make almost everything over 25 like 15 wounds or 14 wounds is that they can't be killed in one go, because it's almost bringing back the D weapon from
I thought it was a bit dodgy that even like on the Games Workshop website they advertised as this can one hit a night.
God,
I was like, why are you promoting
you
this?
won't see knights at any event, and you won't see Mortera, and you won't see Magnus, you won't see any of these. So you won't see Silent King, which is a bit sad. But to be fair, if you've got good terrain, it shouldn't be able to shoot you turn one.
Yeah.
I'm more scared about the breaches, because they have serious amount of firepower, especially as they can get out after the transport.
Yeah, there's lots of devilfish shenanigans going to be happening.
They're going to be there. I think Tau are going to be how Drukhari are in combat. I think that's Tau in shooting, and I think they're going to be crazy oppressive. And I think a lot of armies are going to really struggle against them. I think Custodes, straight out of the gate, are going to be super competitive. And they're such a cheap army to collect as well, like money-wise. So I think a lot of people...
Obviously, with the Custodes, there's one of the highest ones at LVO last weekend, I think.
Yeah, there's 2 in the playoffs for the top spot.
Yeah.
There was AdMech. Who was it? AdMech?
Drukhari's up there for sure.
Studies. Yeah, Drukhari wasn't that high. I think it went about 5th or 6th, which is still quite high. But that's Anthony Vanilla, who's like one of the best Drukhari players on the planet. I think he actually won best Drukhari player in the end. Yeah, I think Custodes looks super strong. Genes to the Cult, I don't think people have worked out how to play them yet to make them strong. I think they're going to be dangerous. I think in the hands of a good player, it'll be very, very good.
I've faced Genes to the Cult Codex, and it is fucking horrible, especially the drills. Yeah.
It's so I think those 2 new books are going to be really competitive. I think Tau are going to be a bit obscene. I think they're going to take advantage of a lot of stuff, but thankfully at the UKTC tournament circuit they actually have set terrain, and it's good terrain. There's lots of obscuring, so there'll be a lot of like anti-railgun terrain, which is nice. I think Drukhari is still going to be up there. I honestly think there will be, and I think Eldar, when they eventually come out, Dark Eldar are obscene. What a good Eldar going to be. Like, they got to be good, right?
It can't be as bad as fucking when you had all the 9 fires on the table, like -3 and 4 to hit back in the day.
Yeah, I remember playing Conrad when I was in a London event, and it was my first tournament ever, and I played against that horrible list, and then he won the Invitational at LGT like the following week. I was like, oh god, and all I took was Plague Bearers. Like, yeah,
it's fine because especially with Tau, all Tau players will just get paired against Tau and they'll just kill each other.
Hopefully, yeah. We have to see what their secondaries in the book are like, because I actually have no idea. Because they'll do action ones good, like they'll do teleport homer and rod probably every game. Engage in all fronts probably, because the tower are a lot more aggressive. Then they'll probably pick another one, kill more, probably the one, and they'll get 100 every game. Like, yeah,
pretty much. I think that's about wraps it up. Looking forward to next year.
Oh, I am
anything
too.
else you would like to add on?
Apart from everyone should get into tournament playing and playing for local teams, local clubs. I think it's great that you're doing that. I think it's awesome that like where you live is getting a lot better with tournament scene. Yeah, apart from we've covered a lot. We've done a lot in this video.
Smashed it out.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
I'd just like to say as well, like, don't be scared of getting into competitive play, because it's no different than what you're doing at home with your friends at your Friday night clubs. There's nothing to be like worried about. I know people obviously get anxiety and nervous about like bigger events and stuff like this, but everyone's in the same boat. You're all playing the same game. You all want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Get involved, because it's a fantastic thing about the hobby.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I went to a few events by myself around the country this year, just because like my friends pulled out and I had to go. It's still going. I was really wanted to go, and I just made so many friends there. Like you'll see friendly faces at all the different events, and I could probably just go to an event now and I'll see someone I know, and then we'll have a great chat. Like that's where I met you at LGT. Like every time you go to an event and I'm there, I'll be coming over to you, having beers and stuff, and it's not a horrible environment. It's really nice, friendly environment. Even though it's a competitive scene, it's really nice. Everyone's just there to play Warhammer. It's just men and women with toys, like it's just playing with toy soldiers.
It's surprising like how many people you actually start making friends with, because you'll see them at more events and you'll bump into each other more.
Yeah.
It's great for the community, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah. But thanks a lot for coming on this week, Dom.
Yeah, no worries.
And make sure you go check out Realspace Raiders with George, Dom, and Paulie. And make sure you check out Dom's Let's Talk Wargaming.
Yeah, please check it out. I'm doing an episode every other week, and I'll give you a little taste of the next video is JT McDowell from Play on Tabletop. So check that out, and then obviously check out Realspace Raiders as well.
Getting all the fucking big names on.
Yeah, trying to.
But that's about it for this week. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let us know what you think of the ITC season. Are you going to try and take part this year? And if you see myself or any of your back reps team or Dom at events, come say hi. Until next week or next time, cheers and go on.
See you later.